I was for a few minutes in Rabbi Cantor's for bringing Shabbos afternoon, and I heard again the taina that we were born after Gimel Tammuz. What do you want from our lives? We didn't see anything. We don't know anything. And even after we hear many talks like Gorelik spoke, that the whole tafkid is to take from the Anechi Misha Anechi all the way down to over here. That's what Chabad is. But a lot of Bochrim, first of all, I apologize to the Alder Rabbonim and the Rosh Hashivas. For you, I don't have anything to say. And I'm talking just directly to the younger generation, similar to Rabbi Cantor that lifted them up already, so I don't have much to say. So, but that's, I feel that over there there's a talus, no talus to speak to the older generation. They already are what they already are. I mean, what can I do for them? So I'll go upon him. When I was Maver Seder this week, and I learned the Parsha, Chitas, so my Yitzhahara, and somebody else came and tied it. What do you want from the Bochum when they say they were born after Gimel Tammuz? It's a tainet tzedekes mea achuz, because Moshe Rabbeinu said that tainet. Moshe Rabbeinu himself said it in this week's Parsha. That V'aftas Hashem Elokecha v'shematem mishmartei, etc. V'dai mehayim. You should know today. Keloyes bneichem asher leyodu v'asher leyro as musar Hashem Elokechem. I'm not talking to your children that didn't see anything, and they don't know anything. As God levezot achazok of His greatness as Zoya Natuya. And all the miracles that he did, I'm not talking to them, but everything that was accomplished. He goes through the whole thing, the whole shtalshlus and all the nisim and all the inyonim that happened in the midbar. Who am I talking to? And Nechem raises Kol Ma'aseh Hashem HaGodol Asher Osa. So Moshe Rabbeinu gave the finished excuse. That seemingly, that if it's B'neichem, so I can't demand from you. But I'm talking to you that you saw everything. You heard everything, you saw everything. So the Chur's a gewaltige taina. And it's not only a taina for the Tzoyin HaTzoyer, they were born after Gimel Tammuz. It's also a taina when Rachmana litzlan, so many years passed by. So it's a saying like everybody's talking that way. So, what do you want? We're only human beings. We don't remember everything so well. The relation is not there so strong. So, how could there be any time in this generation? The only time it could be like Rav Kanda said, we're strong, we're good. We're still screaming about Shabbos, we're still screaming about Rebbe, we're still screaming about his kashus, we're still screaming about chitas, we're still screaming about everything. So we have to give ourselves a pat in the back. That's the only thing. But if we give ourselves a pat in the back, so how are we going to go forward? The problem is, I just spoke apikursis. I just spoke total kfira. If anybody learns Pshat and the Psukim the way I just said them, I don't know how it can go on with Yiddishkeit. Literally. It's totally taking a bunch of Psukim in the Torah and saying that it's a history book. They're talking about facts of what happened, whatever. It's as if it's not relevant for us today. Because even Moshe Rabbeinu said, Keloyes b'neichem, since that time that Moshe Rabbeinu said that many years passed by, so it's now not only b'neichem, it's b'nei b'neichem, b'nei 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 b'neichem. So therefore everything that Moshe Rabbeinu demanded is not applicable to us, chas v'sholem. It's when you learn Torah and you didn't learn or adapt a single word of what you learned in Chassidus. and you're taking it like a balabatische outlook, only dealing with the physical concepts, and that's it. So what I'm going to say to you, it's seemingly when you learn the psukim, it sounds it's not realistic. And I was scared to say it, scared to think it, but then I saw the Rebbe says it. In Tanya, Perik Memvov, starts off that there is a Yesh Derech Yoshar Shavel L'chol Nefesh. There's a straight, simple way, equal for every person. The Korev Adover Ma'oid, Ma'oid. Twice Ma'oid, not only Ma'oid. Korev Adover Ma'oid. Lo'er Leheir Eich Ha'ava Hatkua. And Musateres believe how the love that every single Yid has anyway, even though it's hidden in his heart, he is Me'ira B'Tekef, that it should shine and come out. Ka'esh Bo'era. Like a fire that's burning, they'll consume him, they'll consume everything around you. And what is that? It goes into upon him can lave Odom el Odom. Goes into the whole Arichas over there in Perik Memvov. It's late, I don't want to go into it. Of all the Avad that David showed that he went from where he is all the way into Eretz Oretz to help the Eden get out of the Memtes Shari Tumah. And the hour that he showed, and he brought it in, Cheder, living in Cheder, etc., and Kiruv, living in Kiruv, with the Chibuk and the Nishuk, etc., that the gewaltige hour that Melech Malka Amlochim showed to every single Yid, no matter what was with their Madrega. Explains the whole Perik Memvov, he explains it. Then, all at once, and therefore, since it's upon him, can live Odom el Odom, say if the Eibishter shows such a gewaltige ava to simple Yid, so that will arouse our heart, and we'll have this gewaltige chuk and ava to the Eibishter, and want to be close with him, because he wants to be close with us, no matter what we did, no matter where we felt, no matter where we were. That's Perik Memvov. Then all at once, Perik Mem Zayin. V'nei b'chol dor v'dor v'chol yom v'yom chai v'odom li'eretz atam kilu yotzu hayom v'mitzrayim. So the Rebbe asks, what's the Hamshach in Yonim? Perik Memvov speaks about Abba, but Avoid, and then all at once Perik Mem Zayin, he jumps to Chol Yom v'Yom Chai V'Odom L'Eretz Atam Kilu Hayom Yotzu Mitzrayim. What's the Hamshach? So the Rebbe says the taina that each one of you is claiming, Perik Memvov is beautiful, but it happened 3,000 years ago. Happened 3,000 years ago. How is that supposed to be Mo'era Ma'ava like HaKadosh Baruch Hu now? We don't see all these things that happened in Mitzrayim. It happened 3,000 years ago. So the Alter Rebbe goes on, Perik Mem Zayin, that b'chol yom v'yom chayev odam liris es atam kilu yotzav Mitzrayim. So when we learn Perik Mem Zayin, we think about it even closely. It's Mitzrayim. We're not in bondage anymore. We're not in the dust. But that everything that he tells through in Perik Memvov, all the different details of the Ava, of how the Eibusher came down over there, who thinks about it when they call Yom B'Yom Chayev Odom Liris Atam Kilu Yotzav Mitzrayim? So Rebbe is saying Perik Mem Zayin is talking about all the details of Perik Memvov. He's talking that Atem Re'istem, each one of you could see, even though the years, 3,000 years later, not only Bneichem, but 3,000 years later. Chol Yom V'Yom, that is the way. How do I do it? Because I learned a Maimon Chassidus that tells me that Yitzias Mitzrayim is not a history fact, it's something which is here, Yom. If I only want, if I go with the attitude, I'm American boy chick, I don't know, what year is it now? 2026, whatever it is. And everybody's talking about L, and everybody's talking about this, and everybody's talking about that. What do you want? I davened today. Great. I learned a half a block Gemara today. I said some Tilim over there. And great. I learned Chitas. I'm fulfilling my obligation. Can't have tinus to me. And we sing a lot of songs also, and everything is going good, and everything is going strong. I'm a proud Lubavitcher, a proud Yid, a proud this, a proud Chassid of the Rebbe. I am fine. What more can you ask for me? Did you come to a realization that right now, all the details of what happened with the Ezra Makis of Yetzias Mitzrayim are happening now also? Did you live that through? That all the way to a level of K'mayim aponim because you feel the experience? How could I feel that experience? That I daven a Shmoneh Esrei with the Maimach Chassidus. And the Baruch Ato Havaya is a reality. When I say Moedim Anachnu Lach, it's not some words I'm saying, but it's a reality. Isn't that the olive base of Chassidus? When I say Moed Ani Lefonecha, and I have a whole sikha from the Rebbe that carries it down through all the levels, and he spoke it to us and said it to us. This is my reality. Are we living like that? Or do I go with the attitude, what do you want from my life? I already learned my chitas today. I already learned my even Sri Prakim Rambam today. I said it. I didn't understand so much, but I tried one halacha to try to understand a little. I'm Yetzer my chiyuv. I'm a snagdim Yetzer gewen my chiyuv. Are you living with it? This is the olive base of what the Rebbe says. The Perek Membov is a reality that everybody can go through today. I'm speaking about everything that happened 3,000 years ago. Everything when you hear a sipur of the Rebbe. No, it has to be a sipur of today. Because something that the Rebbe said, and the sikha that the Rebbe said, and the open meifas that the Rebbe did, that I don't know if the time of the Baal Shem Tov there were so many meifas. That's something that those happened before Gimel Tammuz. That was fine for them. It was great. They lived in a great time. They were all mamash like Richard Masmid, each one of them that was there. And if I would have seen all that, I would also be like Richard Masmid. You're forgetting the olive base of Chassidus. The Torah is a Torah's Chayim. And the Sikh of the Rebbe is talking to me. We're not dealing with history over here. Adarab, if you learn the Sikh, who doesn't remember, you don't remember, sorry, but who didn't read or hear, the Rebbe lebt, noch mit mehr Chayes, und ist starker. Although, how many years went to by path to Utrad? Who doesn't remember that? So the Rebbe was just speaking hypothetical. It's not real. Because my world, it doesn't exist. When are we going to wake up to Rebbe for over 40 years? One sikh after another sikh, one letter after another letter, one yechidus after another yechidus. He tried to carry it down that this should be our reality. Not all the shtus that are going on around. Yes, they have the nefesh of Bahamis. Nefesh Akis is only nefesh Hashenis. Our first reaction, our first attraction is to our surrounding. But that's why there's 3 hours of Chassidus in Yeshiva. That's why we are learning Chassidus to know what is really real and not false real. When is the last time the Rebbe is... You have the expression, Hashem nitzov alof, mabit alof, and like the Rebbe explains it, that it's not only a reality, but the Eibusher cares and wants, and every single machshava, dibur of Maisa, of every single bachan, every single yid, of whoever he is. When's the last time you thought into that? That yes, it is important, and yes, it makes a difference, and yes, it's not just to be yaitz and to be yaitz the chiyuv, that I should be able to call myself whatever it is. You want Mashiach now? You want Mashiach now? When's the last time you learned from the Rebbe's Sichos what Mashiach is about? And if I want Mashiach now, what is it that I really want? When are you going to wake up? It's in our koyach right now. Like the Rebbe spoke how many times? Machshava echad, dibur echad, ma'aseh echad. It's machia atzma, it's ahilo elam kuloi. We have a tshuva v'hatzolah. And that's the tshuva v'hatzolah that we need. I know if you don't believe me, that look in the Oros of Tanya, in Perek Mem Zayin, The Rebbe says, what's the hamshel to Perek Mem Vov? He says, because to Perek Mem Vov happened 3,000 years ago, and that's what the hamshel of Perek Mem Zayin, it's happening now. If you let it happen, if you live with it. There's gewaltige Bala Mesiris Nefesh, gewaltige things that are going on in the world. Rabbi Cantor will tell you of what the shluchim, the Mesiris Nefesh that they go through and everything. I offer nitachas kapas to glay of everything that they go. I'm not even there. I'm closed up in a little cubicle in the yeshiva. But have a little bit of emunah. Yeah, when I learn Omer Abaye, Omer Rava, Omer Rav Papa, and I learn the Sikha from the Rebbe, it's something, like the Rebbe once said when somebody, the Rebbe once said that when you learn a piece of Gemara, you say Omer Rav Papa, Omer Rav Rava, so then it's the says of David becaver, and when the says of David is in the physical action that has a hashpor al kol ha'olam kulei. I remember the Farbrengen, the Rabbi once Farbrengen, that he said that there was a Yid that said, I don't understand. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, his chokhmah, his wisdom, his manhigus and everything is mamish like chochem atik that we can't describe it. When it comes to Emunah, that because he believes like an alter bubba. And he takes the words literally. What's going on over here? How do these two things come together? And Rabbi said, that is exactly what the Rebbe is all about. Yes, everything was the Emunah Pshuta. Even though there is the Chochmah She'ein the Gmos like Chochmah Shleima, and it carries it down, and it's not a steer, the Emunah Pshuta, because Torah is real, and that's the reality. And when you learn a Sikha from the Rebbe, and you chazer over a Sikha from the Rebbe, you're living with the Rebbe. That is the Rebbe. Don't make the Rebbe into just another physical being. The Metzias of the Rebbe is Emunasai, Yirasai, Mehavasai, that he gave it, carried it over to us. Gave it over with each sikha, with each letter, with each word, with each chidus, with each word that he gave to Yarchei. When are we going to start living with that? Living with that, experiencing it, knowing that I have schus, that this was nizgalat to me, that I learned about this, and I can carry it forth to another yid and another yid, that to ad shemol ha'aretz de'ez havai. To be a dugma chaya. If we'll go with this kind of attitude, not just to be yetzer, not just I've fulfilled my chiyuv, I've fulfilled my obligation, my problem is how do I bring a chayes in nigla? Your problem is not how you bring a chayes in nigla. Your problem is how do you bring an emunah in chassidus, in the sikha of the Rebbe. And if you would have the basic emunah and the sikha of the Rebbe, what the Rebbe said, and what the Rebbe was megale, the nigla would burn. It would be, we would feel the koich ka'esh, because you would realize what learning Torah is. The known story that after a whole avodah of Shana Rabbi, Yatzeres, Suchas Torah, once Bochrim looked into the window of the Rebbe, he saw the Rebbe learning. They didn't know if it was a Shulchan Aruch or it was a Gemara, whatever it is. The Rebbe, after a whole Kallah, after those, that's what the Rebbe found is Chai, because it's Haim Chayenu V'Yirich Yomeinu. And that is, you're taking from Nimnam Nimnois, and you're carrying it down into Olam Hazeh HaGashmi, all the way down, that it should be Mol Ha'aretz De'ah. That's exactly how you go about it. Okay, what else can I tell you? You heard it already. My friend, you think I'm being megazen? Take a look in the Yud Beis Psukim by Mori Chazal. Each one, what does it tell you? Teira Tziva Lonu Moshe. Not something 3,000 years ago. And he demanded that from kids. No? Isn't that the first thing? Teira Tziva Lonu Moshe. What's the next one? Shema Yisrael. Havaya Elokeinu. I'm not going into deep words. I don't know no deepest words. Just simple translation. Havaya Elokeinu. Just simple translation, the way a kid learns it in Cheder. Second one. What's the next one? B'chol David Chayv on Kilu. Like Perek Mem Zayin, which is the Hamshel to Perek Mem Vav. Yes, the Yitzhahor, your Nefesh of Hamis says to convince you, I'm no good at this, I fell through over here, I fell through over there. Everything that says in there is how the Eibishter loves, like Harim Skenim, like Had Ben Skunim, it loves every single Yid, no matter what his madrig it is, more than that. The Eibishter wants to brag with me. What's the next one? But it's hard. Yeah, when it comes to a baseball game or a football game or this, you're willing to sweat, you're willing to run, you're willing to do this exercise. Everything is willing. Comes, you have to break your head a little bit with the taser, with the mimer, with the this. It's too hard. It's not for me. I don't see results. When it comes to parnasa, in the beginning you earn over there $1,000 a year, until you have parnasa, takes a long time. But you want the parnasa, so you work and work and work. So when it comes to over here, there's something that said you become a shut of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're not willing. Yes, of course it's hard. Even Rabbi Kivegi had tzorchi in Godel Hashem Yareina kashas, and he created more Torah with those kashas than all the Rosh Hashivas put together with their big pupulim, because it aroused everybody to start thinking. So when it's hard, that's the way to go, and that now it's thank the Eibishter. He showed you exactly what your beer is and where you have to work hard, so you should be able to come to a Klorkite. Whether it's a Nigla and Zechsidus. Besides the fact when you say it's hard, the sharp plot of Tanya, it's you're trying, you don't believe what it says to you, what the Torah, Moshe, the Eibishter told Moshe Rabbeinu, and what Tanya is based on. Why is the Taka hard? So you heard from Rabbi Gerelik. The Eibishter wants you to take from the Keser, from all the way up, from Atzos Ein Sof. He wants to carry it down. So you want to do it. We say, Ato Kodesh, V'Shimcha Kodesh, G'dayshim B'chol Yom Yalucha. All the thousands and thousands, they want to have a connection with Yalucha Selah. But Eibishter says, I want you. I want you to say, Baruch Ato Hashem, Havaya Kallah Kodesh. It's not my pshat. If Eibishter Eibishter says that pshat. So if Eibishter Eibishter did before Chassidus. Nothing you can do. The Eibishter is waiting. Another Yid, another Bocher, another Tomim. What the mile of a Tomim is that he knows exactly what the Eibishter is waiting for. That's why you learn Chassidus. That's why you learn the Sichos of the Rebbe. That's why you have the letters of the Rebbe. Start believing in Aleph Beis. Okay, it's late. I could go through the rest of this. You can figure it out yourself. I gave you the basis. Just the whole thing is break through this basic barrier. That we wake up with the Moed Ani, try a little bit with what the Rebbe says in the Sicha in Yonah Shel Teres Chassidus. A little bit. Not too deep. When you wash Negev Vaser after the Moed Ani, realize that you're separating yourself from anything that you were not supposed to be separated from. And then go and say Birchas HaShecher, then 18 times, Baruch Atah Havaya, Elokeinu Melech Ha'olam. Live with it! Stop letting the Nefesh Habahamis fool you. Is it automatic? Does it come automatic? Definitely not. Adam L'Amal Yulad. You can't reach these things which are the ultimate purpose of the entire creation just by going like this. Of course you have to work, but so what? When there's something that you want, when there's a goal that you want to achieve, you're not spoiled from the hardship and you let yourself sweat. If the level of Avdolis, a kid is willing to sweat to throw a ball into a basket, a kid is willing to sweat to carry a ball to across the goal line. So when over here we have the purpose of the entire creation from the beginning, for all the tzaddikim, with all the rebbeim we're working on, and that I can achieve it if I learn another line Gemara, if I learn another Oitzach Chassidus, if I learn another Sikha from the Rebbe. Although it's not easy. Let's get going. When the going gets rough, the tough get going, right? Seid gesund. Let's hope that what the Rebbe wanted from us and the brachas that the Rebbe is giving us and that he's looking upon us, mabit all of on every single individual, that will start materializing it, l'mata masor tfochim. That way we'll have everything. Seid gesund.